Only one side, see? Most of the flowers, they're completely round, but this one only look like only half flower. You see this? You see how the structure is, see? Only this. All of them are just half, see? So beautiful, no? Look at that. Oh, there's very rare flower. The flower. It's like a beautiful color of the flower. So rare color. Wow, homemade. Yes, look at the color. So rare, you know? I don't know if I have seen this color before. Something they engineer it, huh? They mix the different two colors, you see? They do something that's so beautiful. Oh my God. It's a velvet. It's with dark pink. Oh, isn't that beautiful? Okay, there's a young blonde man, first time father, yeah, went into the hospital, and then he you know, pacing up and down outside, waiting for his wife, you know, to deliver the children or the child, and then later they come out very happily with two blonde, you know, two small blonde ones, and bring, oh, look, it's two sons. Nice, congratulations. So the blonde father don't say nothing. Walk straight inside the delivery room. Where is she? Oh, yo, my wife. Over there. Okay, she come and ask his wife. Now tell me, who's the father of the second? Poor blonde man. I don't know, people seem to be so jealous with blonde people. They make all kinds of jokes, you know. There was a group of mountain climbers, you know, going around together with the tour guide. And then suddenly they realized they got lost. They couldn't find a way back, or they couldn't find a way out. So they asked the guide, and the guy also said, oh, I think we are lost. Yeah, the guy told, the tour guide. So the group said, one of the group said to him, I thought you say you are the best tour guide in Maine, in America, in Maine. So the tour guide said, yes, I am, but I think we are in Canada now. Walk too far. The guy is too far. Good excuse to get lost. The teacher asked them, why is it necessary to keep quiet in the church during the sermon? Yeah, when the priest are preaching. Oh yes, you have to be. The students say, yes, I know. Say why? Say because people are sleeping. And there's an ugly girl who said to the frog, you know, I will kiss you back to a prince. And the frog said, no, I'd rather stay a frog. In this case. There is a Baptist minister, you know, just realized that many people who are drunk, you know, the drunken people in the town has never been baptized. So he's determined to, you know, clean them, to save them, save their soul. So he went to the pub and grabbed some of the drunk, one of the drunk, and bring him to the river. Yeah, and there he put his head, the drunk person, in the river for a few seconds, and then put him out. And the guy, and the minister said, have you found Jesus? And the drunk said, no. So the minister put him back down again. into the river water again and they come back up. They put him up and said, "Have you found Jesus?" "No." And then the minister put the drunk people head down in the river water again. And then pull him up and the minister still asking, "Have you found Jesus?" He said, "No, no, but are you sure that's Jesus went under there?" There's a man, you know, he lost his job. And his house has been foreclosed. And his wife leaves him. And take all his money along with his children. So he's very, very destitute. So he must find out what the meaning of life. So he went out and seek for the High Lama. Yeah. So it took him 3 years to reach Nepal. And 7 months, he finally to find out the abode of the High Lama. When he gets there, the attendant of the High Lama told him to wait. So 1 week, 2 weeks, and then 3 weeks, and then because the High Lama is very highly busy, so, and after finally 3 weeks, he see the High Lama, and this guy is already very, you know, all his clothes are tattered and unshaven, and he's very hungry, and he stands before the High Lama and asks, "What's the meaning of life?" Because the High Lama said, "Life is like a fountain." "What?" The guy yelled at him. "I lose my job, I lose my house, I lose my wife, I lose my children, I lose all my money. I traveled for 3 years and 7 months to get here. And then I wait for you 3 weeks, and I haven't eaten anything. And finally I saw you and you say life is like a fountain?" So the High Lama asked, "So life is not like a fountain?" Yes or no? He saw that his friend sitting at the desk, looking very depressed. So the guy asked, "What's up with you?" "Oh, it's my wife. She has hired a new secretary for me." So, "Well, nothing wrong is that? Nothing wrong in that. So, is she blonde or is she brunette?" "Neither. He is bald." There was a woman, yeah, went into an art gallery, and you know, she asked the person in charge, "This is a very ugly picture, you know, and you call that a modern art?" So the person in charge said, "No, ma'am, it's a mirror." There was a mother took the children back home, and trying to cook dinner, and it has been a very hectic day. She's been working, and then the husband is still not home, and so many bills to pay, and tax and everything, and so she was very tired. So she was praying to God, "God, please help me with all my children," because you know, they're too much for her to handle. You know how children. And suddenly she saw her daughter, you know, 5 years old daughter, also bow his head, bows her head too. And then the mother thought, "Oh, the daughter is very good," you know, also thanking God for helping, for her prayer, you know. And they said, "Oh, what have you said to God then?" You know, the mother asked, "What have you said to God?" So the 5 years old daughter said, I just asked him not to have you." You know, there's a matchmaker, you know, I mean, the one who tried to match a man and a woman to marry each other. And he tried to talk to Mr. John, you know, because he's not married at all. They say, "Oh, Mr. John, Don't leave it until too late, huh? I have exactly the one that you need. Yeah, you only say the word yes, and you will meet, and then we'll be married in no time. So the matchmaker said that. So Mr. John said, "Oh, don't worry. I have 2 sisters at home. They look after my needs." And the matchmaker said, "That is very nice, but all the sisters in the world cannot fill the role of a wife." So a man said, "I said 2 sisters. I didn't say they were mine." After the birth of the new baby, the mother had to go out to do some errands. So the proud father stayed home to watch his wonderful new son. After the mother's gone, the baby started crying. The father did everything he could think of, but the baby wouldn't stop crying. Finally, the dad, so worried, he took the infant to the doctor. After the doctor listened to the father and all he had done to get the baby stopped crying, the doctor began to examine the baby everywhere, ear, nose, tongue, and everything, and then down to the diaper area. You know, like what Lucky has. And then when he opened the diaper, he found, the diaper is full. So the doctor said, "Here is a problem. He needs a change of nappy." The father was very confused and said, "Doctor, but in the package outside of the diaper packet, they say it's good up to 10 pounds. Don't wait until that big. I heard that one guy, he was very proud to fix up the puzzle, you know? And he was very, very happy. And when his friend come in and saw him, said, "What are you so happy about?" He said, "I just fixed up the puzzle, you know, in 3 days." I said, "Wow, but what's so difficult?" He said, on the packet outside, it says up to 5 years. For the 5 years old. For 5 years. It's a woman, a truck driver, a woman driver, want to protect herself because she's always driving truck on the road at night sometimes. So she went to the local animal shelter and asked for a dog that is large and very bad looking, you know, for this, and bad looking and a big dog. So the attendant told her, "But this one doesn't like men, huh?" She found one, you know, bad, good looking, but fierce looking and bad and big dog. But the attendant said this one don't like men. "Oh, that's good, perfect," she thought. So she bought him. Later in the week, when she was parking in a very dark area, and there were 2 very big and rough-looking men come walking to her, yeah. And surely enough, just like the assistant in the dog's pound tell her that the dog doesn't like men, so the dog run in quickly under another car and hide. One day, the grandmother sent Peter, grandson, to the water hole to get some water for cooking. And then he dipped the bucket inside, and he saw 2 big eyes in the water looking back at him. So he dropped the bucket and ran back to the kitchen. "Oh, grandma, I can't get water from that water hole. There's a big old alligator down there." So the grandma said, "Oh, don't worry about that old alligator, Peter. He's been there for many years now, and he has never hurt nobody. So he's probably as scared of you as you are scared of him." "Well, grandma, if he's as scared of me as I am of him, then that water is not fit to drink." Understand, right? Scare there's something out of him. a very big, muscle guy walk into a bar and shouted very loud, "I want to see the strongest man here." And the whole bar went silent. But another big, also muscle guy stood up from corner of the bar and turned around and looked at him square in the eyes and said, "I'm the strongest man around here." So the first man walked up to him, smiled politely and said, "Would you please help me push my truck to the gas station down the street?" There's two lawyers, two lawyers went into dinner and ordered 2 drinks. Normally in such place you cannot eat your food there, So, and then they produced sandwiches from their briefcases and start eating. So the owner became very annoyed and marched over them and told them, "You can't eat your own sandwich. In here is the law." So the 2 lawyers look at each other and they just exchange the sandwich. And they make their own. Okay, there's a man, stood on the road when it was very rainy and dark night. You can't even see your own hand. And then suddenly he saw a car coming to him and stopped. So the guy, he didn't think anything, got in the car, closed the door, and then nobody was there with the wheel. Nobody was driving. And then the car started slowly moving. The guy just looked at the road and then see the curve, So he was worried, so he prayed so that the car will not, smash into the curve. But he was very, very afraid. And then suddenly he saw a hand through the window and driving, steering wheel. And he was so scared. And then every time there's a curve or dangerous situation like that, there's a hand coming and steer the steering wheel all the time. So then after a while, he gathered all his courage and he opened the car door and he run. And then after a while, he got to the nearest pub. He all wet and shocked and scared and shivering, And then he started telling everybody about the horrible experience that he'd just gone through. Everybody was silent. And then, because they see that the guy is he's not drunk, and he's really crying and trembling. So everybody got so scared also, so nobody say nothing. About 20 minutes later, 2 guys walk into the same pub, and then they both look at the guy who was telling the story, and one said to the other, "Look, Peter, that's the tip that got into our car while we were pushing on the road." That's the character who climbed in the car while we were pushing. A general noticed that one of his soldiers behaving very strangely. The soldier would pick up any piece of paper, anywhere, look at it, front, and then throw away. And he said, "Oh, that's not it." Yeah. Or sometimes he just look at any paper, he look at it, and he put it down again. Very displeased. "Oh, that's not it." Keep doing that for a long time. And then the general arranged for this soldier to go and see a psychologist. And the psychologist concluded that the soldier is mentally maybe disturbed. So, and he wrote a discharge paper from the army for this soldier. And then the soldier pick it up, look at it and say, "That's it." Okay, there was a little boy who lived in the countryside, he had to use an outhouse, and he hated it so much because it's hot in summer, cold in winter, and stinks so much. Outhouse means like a toilet outside. And the outhouse was built it on the bank of a creek, and the boy determined that one day he pushed that outhouse into the creek, like a river, like a small river. So one day after the rain, the creek was swollen with water. So he decided, it's the day. So he get a large stick and start pushing. So finally, the outhouse toppled into the creek and floated away. That night, his dad told him that they were going to woodshed after supper. That means they're going to punish him, So and the boy asked why. So the father say, somebody pushed the outhouse into the creek today, into the water. Is that you, wasn't it? So the boy answered, yes. And then he thought for a while, and he said, Dad, I read in the school today that George Washington chopped down a cherry tree and didn't get into trouble because he told the truth. The father replied, yes, son, George Washington's father wasn't in that cherry tree. It's a different situation. Honesty don't have one. Okay. There's an Indian village, There's an Indian, red Indian in America. There's a red Indian village. They keep going to ask the chief of Indian, the chief of the tribe in autumn, whether this winter is going to be very cold or not. Because if it's cold, they're going to collect wood, to prepare in advance. So the chief of Indian don't know how to answer. He doesn't really know. So she has to go and ask the weather, National Weather Service. Yeah. So the National Weather Service replied that, yes, this winter is going to be quite cold indeed. So the chief go back and speed up his people to collect more wood to prepare for winter. So a week later, he called the National Weather Service again and said, is it going to be very cold really this winter? Yes, the man replied, it's going to be a very extraordinary cold this winter. So the chief goes back to his people and orders them to go and find every little scrap of wood they can find and bring it home. 2 weeks later, he called the National Weather Service again. Are you absolutely sure that the winter is going to be very cold this year? Absolutely. The weather service man said, the Indians are collecting wood like crazy. Relying on each other. It sounds familiar here. It sounds familiar to me, like my disciple. Okay. Tommy has the problem of getting up early in the morning, So he's always late for work. So his boss was very angry at him and threatened to fire him if he didn't do something about it. So Tom went to his doctor, and the doctor gave him a pill and told him to take it before he went to bed. Because normally he cannot sleep early at night, so he cannot wake up early in the morning. So the doctor gave him a pill to take before he went to bed, Tom slept well, and in fact, that he beat the alarm in the morning. So the alarm didn't ring, he already wake up, okay? So he came leisurely after breakfast to work, and he said, boss, the pill actually worked. I slept well, and I got up before the alarm clock even. So the boss said, that is fine, but where were you yesterday? Two guys at the bar talking about how highly their wives, thought of them. The first guy say, oh, my wife, she thinks so much of me that she won't let me do any work around the house. It's incredible. Because every time I do it, I break something. And then, so the second guy said, oh, that's nothing. My wife thinks I'm God. Hey? So she thinks you're God? What makes you say that? Easy. Every night she places burnt offering before me. every evening, dinner burnt. Cook too much, burn dinner. Understand? Burn offering. There's a guy who was very drunk, you know, and he was trying very hard to try the keys of his house onto the electric pole outside on the street. And then the policeman came and he made a joke with him because he know he must be drunk too much. He said, I don't think anybody is home here. So the drunk said, yeah, there must be because the light is still upstairs. The light is still on upstairs. In the class, the teacher asked Tom, you come up to the blackboard and show me the position of America continent. So Tom come up and show it. It's very easily. Yeah. And then now, Peter, would you tell me who has found America continent? Yeah, my friend, Tom. The teacher asked the student, you tell me the opposite word of good. So the student say, the opposite of good is no good. and the teacher, a little bit impatient, must say, okay, what is the opposite word of ugly? So the student say, yes, the opposite word of ugly is not ugly. So the teacher say, not right. And the student say, right. The oral exam, you know, the teacher asked the student, oh, it seems like I have met you somewhere before, no? And the student say, yes, last year I failed the exam, so this year I have to make it again. And then the teacher say, okay, then last year what did I ask you? So the student say, yeah, last year you asked me, have I met you somewhere before? One student say to the other student, if the principal doesn't take back what he told to me, I think I will quit this school. My God, what did the principal say to you? He said, get out of my school. One of the boy student, talked to a girl student, say, you know what the principal of